Started with light. Not sunlight, but a shimmer across the stratosphere. An iridescent wave that rippled from horizon to horizon, turning the afternoon sky into a shifting oil slick of color. Every satellite feed on Earth lit up with the same anomaly. A pulse of energy coming from the Oort cloud. Then a sound, a single note too low for human ears but deep enough to make oceans shudder. The world governments responded the way governments always do, with emergency meetings, scrambled fighter jets, and panic disguised as procedure. But within hours, it was clear this was not a meteor nor an attack. It was a vessel. By the time it entered orbit, half of humanity was watching the live feed. The ship dwarfed anything we had ever built, a living crescent of dark metal and organic patterns that pulsed like veins. The news anchors ran out of adjectives. The theologians called it prophecy. The physicists called it impossible. Called it mine. My name is Dr. Maura Ellison, xenolinguist, specializing in non-human semiotics. For 10 years my work had been ignored, my funding cut, my theories dismissed as speculative nonsense. But when the alien transmission began, layered harmonic sequences that mapped onto no known pattern, the Global Science Council called me. And just like that, I was on a shuttle to the orbital research platform Athena, staring at a living ship that blotted out the stars. To the contact. The first attempt at communication was a disaster. Our drones disintegrated when they crossed the ship's membrane. Probes vanished. Electromagnetic pulses fried half our sensors. Then, as if tiring of our persistence, the vessel released a pod, an obsidian seed that drifted toward us like a falling tear. Inside the pod was a chamber of soft bioluminescent walls, and a single being. She was tall, easily 3 meters, with skin that shimmered like translucent pearl. Her limbs flowed rather than moved, each motion deliberate and fluid. A crown of fractal spines adorned her head, pulsing faintly with blue light. Her eyes were vast, pupil-less, and filled with what looked like galaxies. We called her Queen Ilyara. She called herself Mother of the Veilborn. When she spoke, it wasn't with sound. Her thoughts pressed against our minds in layered waves of emotion and image. But when I tried to interpret them, something strange happened. The words shifted. She began forming human phonemes, as though my mind was teaching hers to shape meaning. And then she spoke her first words in English. "You understand me." I nodded, barely breathing. "We're trying to." "Good," she said. "Then I can ask why you look like her." That was the first time she mentioned the child. Read the child. Over the next weeks, communication improved. I became her primary interpreter, spending hours within the containment dome translating her layered consciousness into linear speech. Ilyara was curious, serene, and terrifyingly intelligent. She spoke of the veil, a cosmic boundary that separated her species' dimension from ours, a place of light and memory. She said they had crossed the veil before, long ago, when humanity was still learning to stand. "We watched you," she said once, her tone almost wistful. "We shaped your oceans. You were beautiful, fragile." And then quietly, "Until we were forbidden to return." It wasn't until the 4th week that I saw her agitation. I'd been showing her human imagery, art, architecture, photographs. She seemed fascinated by faces, especially children's faces. Then when I showed her a photo of my daughter, Lily, everything changed. The Queen froze. Her luminous eyes widened. "Where did you get this image?" I hesitated. "That's my daughter. She's 8. Ilyara's body pulsed with color. Violet, indigo, then white. Her voice, when it came, was no longer serene. "No. That is my daughter." For the rift. They locked the station down within minutes. The Queen had grown agitated. her psionic field spiking to dangerous levels. The energy readings alone were enough to knock out half our systems. Security teams surrounded the chamber. I was ordered out, but I refused. "Ilyara," I said through the comm, trying to sound calm. "Please, explain what you mean." Her gaze softened slightly. The light around her dimmed. "Long ago," she whispered, "before your species remembered language, we came to your world. We left one of our kind behind. A child born of both realms. A daughter of light and flesh. She was meant to sleep, to dream until the veil opened again." My breath caught. "Are you saying one of your people mated with a human?" "No. Something more sacred. A shared essence. A soul." She extended one graceful limb toward the hologram of Lily. "This child bears the same resonance. The same signature of the veil. She is of us." I wanted to dismiss it as coincidence, but deep down, something twisted inside me. Lily had always been different. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark, a trait doctors said was a rare photonic reflection. She learned languages by hearing them once. Machines around her behaved oddly. But I had always told myself she was just gifted. Now I wasn't so sure. The secrets of the veil. The next few days were chaos. The council demanded containment. Some called for the Queen's destruction, fearing psychic contamination. But I couldn't stop thinking about what she'd said. So I broke the rules. I accessed the classified data on the Queen's energy emissions, and compared them to Lily's recorded EEG scans from when she was born. The patterns matched perfectly. There was no scientific explanation. None that belonged to this reality. I confronted Ilyara again. "What are you saying? That my daughter isn't human?" Her expression was almost tender. "She is both. The bridge between your kind and mine. The cycle must continue, or the veil will collapse." "The cycle?" "Yes. Every few millennia, a veil-born awakens within your world to anchor the fabric of thought that connects dimensions. When the anchor dies without renewal, both realms decay. You have felt it already. The chaos, the storms, the unbalance of your climate. It is the veil weakening. And Lily, she's supposed to fix that. She is the last anchor." 6. The descent. Before I could process any of this, the world learned the truth. Hacker leaked my logs. News networks broadcast the Queen's words. Panic erupted. Cults formed overnight, worshipping Lily as a divine being. Governments demanded her custody. Within 24 hours, armed agents stormed my home in Seattle. I barely escaped with Lily through a back transport shuttle, heading for Athena. When we arrived, the Queen was waiting. The moment Lily stepped into the chamber, the air changed. The two stared at each other. Mirror images across species. Then, in perfect synchrony, they spoke a single word neither of them could have known. "Mother." Energy flared between 7. them. The connection. The station shook as if the universe itself had inhaled. Instruments went wild, registering impossible readings. Light poured from Lily's body, soft, golden, almost liquid. I could see the same pattern coursing through Ilyara, their energies intertwining like two halves of the same melody. I tried to reach out, but the field was too strong. Through the haze I heard Ilyara's voice, not aloud but inside my mind. "Mara Ellison, she carries the seed of our return. You have protected her well. What are you doing?" I cried silently. "Restoring the veil. But it will cost her the mortal shell. She must transcend." "No. She's just a child." She was never only a child. The energy surged again. Lily's small hands glowed as she looked at me, eyes filled with fear and love. "Mommy," she whispered, It's okay. Can hear them. They're singing. I won't let you go. But it was too late. The queen enveloped her in light, and the chamber became a storm of brilliance. When it faded, Lily was gone. Only silence remained. Aftermath. They declared the mission a success. The energy readings stabilized. The anomalies in Earth's atmosphere ceased. Global magnetic fields realigned. Scientists called it a restoration event. But I knew what it really was. My daughter had become part of the veil. The queen remained silent for days after the transformation. Her luminous form dimmed, almost morning. Finally she summoned me. When I entered the chamber, she spoke softly. You grieve and so do I. But know this, she lives. Within the currents between stars. Within every photon that touches your world. I clenched my fists. You took her from me. You gave her to both worlds. The veil endures because of her choice. I wanted to hate her, but when I looked into her vast, sorrowful eyes, I saw something human. I too lost a daughter once, she said. Ours died when the veil first fell. Perhaps in this child she lives again. Her gaze shimmered. My daughter looks like you, human, the alien queen whispered, and my world fell apart all over again. 9. The second voice. Months passed. The world moved on. Humanity learned to coexist with the knowledge that we were no longer alone. The queen and her kind withdrew beyond the veil, promising to watch but never again interfere. I returned to Earth. The media had turned me into a ghost story. The woman who gave her daughter to the stars. I stayed silent. Until the night the lights came back. I was sitting on the porch of our old home, the sky awash of constellations. Then I heard it, a low hum like a lullaby in reverse. The air shimmered. A small figure appeared at the edge of the yard, translucent, radiant, eyes filled with galaxies. Lily, I whispered. She smiled. Not quite solid but real enough. I can't stay long, she said, her voice both in my mind and the air. The veil is healing, Mom. But there's so much more out here. You'd love it. Tears blurred my vision. Are you happy? She nodded. I'm whole. And I'm never far. The sky rippled again. Ilyara's vast form appeared faintly behind her, like a guardian shadow. She carries your love within her, Mara Ellison. That love is the anchor that will hold both our worlds. I reached out, but they were already fading. The final message. Years later, when the world had begun sending its own ships to the edge of the veil, they found something strange in the data stream. A repeating signal hidden beneath cosmic radiation. It was Lily's voice. Tell Mom I'm okay. Tell her the stars sing her name. The transmission repeated every 108 minutes. No one could trace its source. But I knew. Sometimes at night when I close my eyes I see her, standing beside the queen, radiant, watching over both worlds. The pain never fades, but neither does the light. And in those quiet moments, I remember the queen's final whisper, the one that no recording captured. Your love created a bridge no science could build. Remember that, human. Our future began with your daughter's heart. I stand under the same sky, whispering to the stars. Good night, my love. The wind answers with a faint hum. Soft, melodic, impossibly distant. The Song of the Veil. 11. Epilogue. The Legacy of the Veil. Decades later I am old. Humanity has entered a new age. The veil-born energy has given us clean power, interdimensional travel, and a fragile peace with the unknown. They call Lily the bridge child. Statues of her light adorn every colony world. The Queen's image appears beside her in reverence. But to me, she will always be the little girl who used to fall asleep on my lap, tracing constellations with her finger. I keep one photograph, the one I showed the Queen that day. It has never faded, though the edges shimmer faintly with light. Sometimes when I touch it I hear a whisper, not words, just a feeling. Love. And I know wherever she is, she remembers me too. The universe hums, alive, connected, whole. Because once upon a time, an alien queen looked into a human's eyes and saw her daughter. And in that recognition, both worlds were saved.